3, 2, 1, go. Wednesday night NBA action. This is Across the Board with Jeff Grant here at SBRforum.com. We have a good one here with the Houston Rockets versus the Los Angeles Clippers in Western Conference action at the Staples Center. Just like a previous video that I did featuring the Denver Nuggets and Brooklyn Nets, there is no betting line in the market for this particular affair. And as I mentioned in that video, this is one of the tougher weeks before and after the NBA All-Star break to place your money around this market. You definitely have to stay on top of the action, especially tough when shooting a video early Wednesday morning, early in the morning throughout the week. So definitely monitor my Twitter feed at Jeff Grant Sports throughout the day for any further information on these two games. When you're looking at the Rockets, they've alternated wins and losses in their last 5 games. That includes a 116-107 victory over the Golden State Warriors last night as 4-point road underdogs, and they've climbed over the total in their last 5 games. Guard James Harden, he's been outstanding the entire year. Of course, traded from the Oklahoma City Thunder before the start of the 2012-13 campaign, averaging 32 points over his last 4 games. But he's hobbled here, and the main reason why there is no line in the market is the fact that I don't expect James Harden to play. He's been dealing with a sore left knee throughout the week. Even the previous week he's dealing with this injury that kept him from practicing on Monday, and he also turned his right ankle in pretty vicious manner last night, but he was able to stick through it, but he was barely able to walk out of Oracle Arena last night. 11-17 straight up on the road, 4-12 versus Western Conference opponents. The Rockets do lead the league now in points scored, averaging 106.3 points per game. They overtook the Oklahoma City Thunder, but they lead them by just 1/10 of a point. The Thunder averaged 106.2. Of course, if Harden's unable to go, it's going to be very hard for this team to score even 100 points. He averages 12 more points than any other player on the Houston Rockets roster, and they are 3-7 against the spread on the road versus a team with a winning home record. The home court advantage might be a little less in this one, given the fact that the Clippers are coming back from an 8-game road trip, the Grammy road trip. They split the trip going 4-4. They won their last 2. That includes a 107-90 convincing victory over the Philadelphia 76ers as 4.5-point favorites last time out. Point guard Chris Paul, the real engine of this offense, has played lights out the last 2 games, combining for 46 points and 18 assists in those 2 contests. He's averaged a points and assists double-double in 12 of his last 18 games against the Rockets. He should really have his way against point guard Jeremy Lin on the other side. And he also should be able to create some fast break opportunities, given the fact that Lin does turn the ball over quite frequently, and the Rockets are also known to give the ball up. Chris Paul, first in the NBA in averaging 2.6 steals per game, and his backup, Eric Bledsoe, who's of course played a little bit more due to the fact that Paul's been out of the lineup for most of the month, and even late January, Bledsoe averaging 1.65 steals per game. The Clippers do their best work at home, 20-5 straight up, 14-3 versus Western Conference opponents. Both teams have similar rankings in terms of points in the paint scoring, so it's pretty much a wash. Even if Harden's unable to go, of course, he's a perimeter player, but he also does a lot of his scoring getting to the free throw line, so they'll miss that aspect. I'm going to look toward the under here from a situational standpoint. It's tough to really put a line on this game with such an important figure, and also the Clippers have been dealing with some injuries. Chauncey Billups will most likely not be seen until after the All-Star break. Of course, he's come back for a couple games, but he is always injury prone, and I figure the Clippers will rest him. 6-1 to the under in the last 7 meetings in this series when playing in Southern California, and the Clippers have fallen short of the betting total in their last 4 games when returning from a road trip that lasted 7 or more days. So definitely look toward the under here. For the video, I'm going to pick under. Not sure what the total is going to be, but definitely grab my Twitter feed at Jeff Grant Sports. This has been another edition of Across the Board with Jeff Grant here at SBRforum.com. Good luck with all your wagers, and definitely be careful before the All-Star break, and especially the first couple games after the break, as motivation is a key factor to handicap in pro basketball. Cut.